What is up? Alright, so Avengers Endgame came out last month, and I heard it was a pretty good movie. But here's the thing, I'm not interested in seeing it. Why? Because I'm not a superhero fan. In fact, I was never a superhero fan. That's right, a guy who was born during this millennium, a male who was born in this millennium, and who will die in this millennium, is not into superheroes. As crazy as it sounds, it's true. I like the superhero video games, and now that I've gotten older, I might try out the movies, if they're good. But I think it's mostly the comics that I don't like. I don't really like comics at all to begin with. I mean, I like my books to have some sort of visuals, but I don't want it to be just text, but I don't want it to all be visuals either. I just want a little bit of both. So books like Harry Potter are not my cup of tea because just too much text, it's too boring after a while. Like, just looking at text, it's easy to forget where you left off at, and it's just blank paper with text all over it. It doesn't keep your attention for that long. I mean, maybe it does for some people, but not for me. But for the comic books, though, that's the exact opposite. There's too much going on. I don't want to know all this crap. There's just too much going on at once. I just need it to be small and simple. And maybe it would be a little bit better if it wasn't all just action, like punch, punch, kick, kick, punch, and crap. No, that doesn't sound interesting to me. Why are kids into violent things? Like, is this supposed to be cool or something? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm a weirdo, but just too much action. I just want there to be a good story, and the story in superhero comic books is never that interesting. It's always like, oh, save the girl or something. This ain't no Mario. This is a superhero comic book. There needs to be some sort of story here. It's a book. Well, this might sound random at first, but we'll get to what the main topic here is pretty soon. Trust me, we will. Video game consoles in the 1980s, actually in the 70s, there were too many of the same thing. Like, they call them Pong consoles, and like, they were consoles that played Pong, but they created so many of them, and every single one of them, all they did was just play Pong. Wow. So, no. Screw that crap. Like, so nowadays they only do like 3 consoles per generation. That's how it is nowadays. But back then there were so many competitors, and obviously that made it too hard for the consumer to decide which one to get, so we just narrowed it down to a couple. Well, superheroes are kind of the same way. Why are there so many superheroes? I mean, I know that each one has their own separate power, but the superheroes I'm talking about specifically are the 3 main ones, which I bet you guys know what they are: Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. All of these were created in the 1900s, and sorry, I didn't mean to kick the desk. They all have different abilities, they all have different weaknesses, they all have different stories, but have you ever noticed all of them take place in some sort of city? Like, it's always the city. And there's probably even more superheroes that take place in the city than just these 3. Why the city? Why can't it be somewhere? I mean, which superhero came first out of the 3 that I'm thinking of? Spider-Man came out in 1962. Batman came out in, I don't know, and Superman came out in 1938, I believe. I think Superman was the first one. Alright, superhero sucks. I mean, Superman sucks because, I mean, he's strong as hell, but, and he flies, but that's about it. He doesn't have any cool abilities. He's not named after a animal or insect or whatever. He's just super. I mean, maybe for the time it was good, but I don't know. But that's not the point. Look, what I'm saying is these superheroes need to have their own unique environments that... What's the word I'm looking for? That go with the character. Like, okay, for example, SpongeBob takes place underwater. It makes sense. He's a sponge. Okay, yeah, so SpongeBob underwater, the environments and the characters all seem to go with each other. It flows perfectly. The continuity is spot on. But with the superheroes, like, you can take Spider-Man and put him in Superman's world, and it wouldn't make much of a difference. And you can take Batman and put him into Spider-Man's world, and you can take any of these characters and put them in any of each other's worlds, and it wouldn't matter. Like, can we just have a unique environment that goes with the character? Like, that, what's the word I'm looking for? Corresponds? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Just, it needs to be connected to the character. And it needs to be unique to that character. Now, technically, SpongeBob and Finding Nemo could both take place in the same world because they're both underwater, but that's a different story. What I'm saying is that there's just so many superhero genres, like superhero comics, superhero franchises, that's the word I'm looking for. And they all take place in the city. Like, can we do somewhere else? Like, why the city? Okay? It doesn't make much sense. Alright. So look, they each have their own fan, and people don't seem to care that each superhero all takes place in the same environment. But I'm just saying that it would be nice if they changed it up just a little bit. Alright, well, I was going to say something else, but I can't remember, and I don't want to waste you guys' time, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, so goodbye.